Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube show, my weekly YouTube show, The Loft. Tonight I got a very special guest. I got Ruthy Ferrera. Me and Ruthy know each other from the New York City comedy scene. Welcome to the show, Ruthy.
Thank you, James, and thank you, fans and everybody.
Yeah,
Very
so bef-
well.
before we dive into all the comedy stuff, can I just ask you where you were born and raised?
I was born and raised in what they call the Boogie Down Bronx.
Boogie Down Bronx. Wow.
Yeah, El Bronx. Yep.
What kind of kid were you, Ruthy? Were you a creative kid?
Yeah, believe it or not, and that's where some of the comedy comes in. I was, and I'm not tooting my horn here, but there was some creativity, and of course, growing up in a big city in a big borough like the Bronx, there were a
Mm-hmm.
lot of street games that we would play, and it forces you to be creative.
Yeah, yeah. So what got you started in comedy originally? What got you started?
Well, for one, I've always enjoyed comedy. Never thought in my whole life that I would get deeply involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, about 2.5 years ago, I lost my mom.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, I used to take care of her and everything. And after, God took her, I felt like kind of an empty void. And I've always been involved with entertainment. And
Mm-hmm.
I've said to myself, you know what? I want to try getting back into entertainment. And
Mm-hmm.
I tried out this school that Caroline's offer, like writing comedy and stuff.
Okay.
And I tried it, and some people told me, why don't you do some comedy? Why don't you try comedy? And believe it or not, we had like a graduation show at Caroline's, and I performed for the very first time
Wow.
2 years ago exactly at Caroline's, and holy cow, that changed my whole life around. I am obsessed with comedy now.
So could you tell me some of your comedy influences? Who influenced you growing up and stuff like that?
There were wow, there's so many people out there. It's hard. I mean, I go way back. I like the old timers. Joan Rivers, Moms Mabley, Phyllis Diller, Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
Notice I mentioned a lot of the women.
Yeah.
I love the three Georges: George Carlin, George Lopez, George Wallace.
Yeah.
Of course, all the most popular Rock, Chappelle, Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love all comedy. It's just like as long as it makes you laugh, it's comedy. Rodney Dangerfield, I love.
Yeah.
I love a whole lot of them. It's hard to pinpoint like one.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ruthie, could you take me through a little bit of your process of say writing a joke from say just an idea to getting it up on stage?
Uh, you know what I like to do that a lot of people are getting to know me for. I love current events comedy.
Okay.
Where anything that's happening, I gotta throw something about it. Like that, if I get on the stage, I like to throw that in first,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll show people that I'm on top of current events.
Okay.
You
Great.
know,
Great.
so yeah, and I love a lot of surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Where I tell people, hey, I bet some of you guys are wondering, I wonder where she's from. I hear a little accent from her, like she's from
Mm-hmm.
one of the islands. And I go, well, you're right. I'm from a big fat island called El Bronx.
Yeah.
So, I like to throw in little surprises, little jokes, little stuff here and there.
Cool, cool. Ruthie, could you tell me some of your favorite comedy clubs you have played at? Some of your favorite places?
My favorite, I'm very comfortable on the stage because I do a lot of open mics there, is the comic strip.
Okay.
I'm comfortable at Caroline's because I would call that my birthplace. That was the very first place I performed.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with, and I believe me and you performed there together, West Side Comedy Club.
Yes, yes. Yep.
And where else? Broadway Comedy Club.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And one time, and I wish to go back, it wasn't the large main room, but the small room at the stand in
Okay.
the Union Square area. I felt very comfortable there, and a lot of laughs were received. So yeah, that was good too.
Great.
Gotham was okay too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, Gotham's one of my favorite. That's the first place I ever performed at was Gotham.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I did a bunch at Broadway. I've done a bunch at West Side, things like that. But Ruthie, during these past difficult times with the pandemic and everything like that, where did you find your inspiration to keep doing comedy, to stick with it, stuff like that? Where did you find your inspiration?
Excellent question. Being that we were off and working from home, I
Yeah.
read a lot of comedy books, and it's so
Mhm.
funny because you know how we say we roast the ones we love? A
Yeah.
lot of my joke today is making fun of Zoom comedy, and believe it or not, I
Mhm.
gotta give it to Zoom comedy. I felt that Zoom comedy really helped me with, pushed me a little bit with my comedy.
Yeah.
Zoom
Yeah.
comedy, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
me too.
funny.
Me too. So where can we find you on social media? Where can we check you out? Do you have any videos up? Anything on YouTube?
Oh yeah,
Instagram?
excellent. I'm a lot on Facebook. Anybody could
Okay.
find me on Facebook. My simple name, Ruthy Ferrera. That's Ruthy with a Y, and then Ferrera, F as in Frank, Errera.
Mm-hmm.
And through Ruthy Ferrera, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. You could find me on YouTube, and you can see some clips here and there of some of my stuff.
Cool. Could you tell me some of your up and coming projects? This is a great way to just promote right now. So,
Definitely. This coming Friday the 13th, don't be afraid. Friday the 13th, I will perform at Broadway Comedy. It's a 9 o'clock show.
nice.
And this is a big one. And hey, I hope you guys can take advantage of this. I have limited tickets to see me at Mohegan Sun at Comics Roadhouse in
Nice.
Connecticut.
Nice.
This will be a Thursday night show, a fun 10 o'clock show. If anybody's interested, please find me, message me, and I can provide you a pair of tickets. It'll be
Awesome.
fun.
Great. Great. So, I have a couple interesting questions. Now, Ruthie, if you could go back to your younger self, what would you go back and tell her? What would you say?
I would tell myself, wow, that's a great question. To be tough, don't let things bother you.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish that the brains that I had today, that I had it back then,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's. Yeah, I tell myself, be stronger, be passionate, and chase after your dreams.
Yeah.
Which if you ask me, I probably would have, who knows where I would have ended up had I done comedy when I was younger.
Yeah, yeah. And now, with the same token, what advice would you give a young person starting out in comedy, maybe a female, or maybe just starting out in the entertainment industry? What advice would you give them?
I would give them stay humble. Do
Mm-hmm.
not don't badmouth anyone in the comedy community, because the comedy community is a tight community,
Yeah,
and everybody learns stuff from one another. All the producers, club owners, comics, they all work together.
yeah.
And one little slip, your name will spread like a bad rash, and they won't use you. Just stay put, stay humble, and
Mm-hmm.
just because you think yourself you're funny, that doesn't mean that other people think that you're funny.
Yeah, yeah.
And most important, don't ever say that someone is not funny, because that person may not be funny to you, but funny to someone else in Wichita, Kansas, in Los Angeles, in somewhere in Ohio or
Yeah.
Idaho. It doesn't. I may be funny to my people in the Bronx, but I may not be funny to someone in Miami or
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas.
I see. I see what you're saying. So, Ruthie, if you could sit down with anybody from the entertainment world, who would you sit down and have a conversation with right now?
I would like to today, a living person, let's say within the comedy, probably Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
We're kind of close in age, and
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that he started so young. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to learn of that passion, like where he got that from.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and blew up and successfully did very, very well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Ruthie, what could we find you doing in your free time? What could we find you doing besides comedy, besides writing? I know you do some of event planning and things like that. What could we find you doing besides all that stuff? What do you enjoy doing?
Believe it or not, I also founded. I love entertainment and the celebrity world. That I founded my little candle company called Celebrescence,
Mm-hmm.
and I create my own candles. I make scented candles,
Wow.
and my scented candles are like has a fun, quick celebrity twist. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, I don't know if you guys could see this. These are
Yeah.
labels.
Wow.
Donna Summertime. This candle scent smells like sunflowers.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
And then I have a beautiful lavender candle that it's called Purple Rain. But you see how it's spelled?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Purple Rain. So you see, it has the candle company has like a twist on fun movies, on fun celebrities, and and I use names where I can't get in trouble or I can't get sued by celebrities.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. That's great. Yeah.
And it's called Celebrescence. Yeah, you can
Wow.
find it on the website and order some cool candle scents.
Cool. Cool. Now, could you share something with us that maybe not a lot of people know about you? That you could share with our viewers.
Certainly, it's so funny because if anybody were to meet me, um, I'll look like a boring mother or housewife. Where it was funny, I was told
Mm-hmm.
I had invited some folks. I told them, "Hey, I'm a comic. Come check me out at the comic strip or whatever." And they felt unsure, like, "Oh, whatever. She must be boring. She must be this, must be that." And one particular person actually came out to comic strip and checked me out, and I blew her away. I blew the crowd away. And when the
Nice.
show finished and everything, she was stunned, where she was like, "Oh my God." And I'm right here thinking you were a boring housewife or whatever, just like that to my face.
Yeah.
I thought you were a boring housewife, and she was stunned
Mm-hmm.
of the stuff and the set that I came out with that made the crowd roar.
Yeah.
A lot of people were laughing. She couldn't believe it, and yeah, I may look a certain way, or I dress a certain way, or like she said, a boring housewife. But
Yeah.
when I get on stage, I'm a different person.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Ruthie, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want our viewers to know? Any final thoughts about you, your career, anything like that?
Guys, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm sure you guys don't do this, but don't judge anyone. Uh, just because a person looks a certain way or whatever, don't that person could be the one that will tickle your fancy right
Mm-hmm.
in your day,
Yeah.
and again, it's people may look a certain way, but that person is the one that could really, like, especially now today where we're in desperate need of laughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, don't be shy. Come out to the comedy club. There's a lot of fun, and as you know, laughter is the best medicine and is good for your
Definitely.
soul. And yeah, come on out and check us out. There's a lot of good comedians out there
Yeah.
that will tickle your fancy, and you'll enjoy it, and it'll brighten your day.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you, Ruthie. Guys, you could check Ruthie out. You could check her out on Facebook. You could also check her out on Instagram. You guys could also follow me on Instagram. Also, remember to click like and hit subscribe. And again, Ruthie, thank you so much for being on the show, for being on the
Thank
Loft.
you, James.
Thank you, and thanks for giving us your time and everything today. And I hope to do a show with you soon again in the city.
Yes, please, please.
Yes,
Excellent. Thank you so much.
definitely. All right, guys, we will see you next time. Thank you. Take care.
Peace.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.